Hello, good morning, my people. Happy Friday. It is the time to decode the business newspaper. Are you ready? Are you ready to take charge of your finances? Learn about the changes in the economy, businesses, the stock market, investments. How can that make a difference to you? How can decoding all this make a difference to you? Well, it may not make a difference right away. Right away, your understanding may not be like fully there, but as you keep working on this day in, day out for the next few years, you will see how your knowledge will compound, how all this will make a difference to you. So, with that commitment of making a difference to your money life, let's begin. Namita, thanks for acknowledging that you're here. Okay, so we're beginning today with the Economic Times, like I always show you. That's my favorite paper that I read every day, Monday to Sunday. And the first news that I would like to share today is on the auto demand. So, thanks to COVID, everybody realized we need a personal vehicle for mobility, and that has led to a huge demand for personal cars and two-wheelers. The dealerships have reopened, the auto dealerships, and they were expecting that there will not be as much demand. However, they are now trying to make up for all the demand that's showing up, because production is not full-fledged and they are struggling from the supply side. So that's what this front page news in the Economic Times today on the automobile sector is informing us. So I'll read just a few lines so that you guys get a bigger insight. When showrooms reopened after 50 days of lockdown, automakers wondered whether anyone would want to buy cars in the post-COVID age. But now they are concerned about getting enough supplies to meet demand and using this opportunity to recover from one of the worst years for auto sales. The uptick in personal mobility has been strong 7 weeks into reopening of dealerships. Stock has been slashed by 1 lakh units, okay? 1 lakh units, and automakers have generated bookings for more than 2 lakh vehicles. So for any of you who may not have joined us from India, I mean, the demand is for 200,000 units, while the supply is for 100,000 units only. So that's the kind of gap that automakers and dealers are seeing right now. And the industry is worried about keeping up, as factories can't work at full capacity due to shop floor rules on distancing and other health and safety protocols. So the current shortage is pegged at 40% by people in the know, based on bookings and sales. Demand has outstripped supply of used cars as well. Passenger vehicle production will be boosted by 25 to 30% this month to 160,000 to 170,000 units from June. So guys, I want to take you, why I read this. I want to take you back to, like say 1 month, 2 months ago, where we addressed how all of us were scared that, oh my God, everything is shutting down. The demand is down. People are only buying real essential items. Where will we be in 1 year's time? And we were all trying to predict the future. And when I look back, I think at that time when we were decoding the newspaper, we were mentioning it again and again that, guys, this fear could be unreal. Let's see what happens. Let's look at one day at a time and move. So I've often seen in the investment, business world, economy, we tend to, kind of look into the future. And this has offered me a big lesson yet again, that nobody can look into the future. Let's not even try and predict, analyze it. How about just living one day at a time and seeing where we are going? Because a lot of us got into fear, we got emotions that really drove us into negativity, and that goes against the attitude of an investor. So look at this, how, if you kind of live one day at a time, you kind of witness what's happening around you, you begin to think and rethink on how you need to be living as an investor. What will help you become an intelligent investor yourself? So when I'm decoding this part of the news, I'm looking at the past, I'm looking at what's happening right now, and it's very different from how many of us were perceiving it. A lot of us were talking about personal mobility going up. That was a change that was being, kind of forecasted, I would say. However, it will be this huge, we did not see. Where, we will be short of 40%. So, this is a big learning that I would like to share with each one of you, that the moment you get scared and you want to look into the future, take a step back. Let it emerge. Let the future emerge, and let's dance with that future. Instead of kind of, wanting to rush and see what's happening so that I can take the right action. It can never happen. So this is my early morning decoding. Thank you everybody for showing up. Namita, Nidhi, Ridhima, Shriya, Seema, Rakhi, Preeti, Kavleen, Jyoti, Bina, Bindu, Shilpi, Prachi. Good morning everybody. Thank you for acknowledging that you're here. Do start typing now. What do you learn from this auto sales article that I'm talking about, auto demand article, and what is your learning? Because a lot of you were present in those decodings too, where we were addressing fear, we were looking at how it can be unreal. So looking at decoding days and those days of fear, and today seeing the demand coming back and rather exceeding supply. What are those learnings that you would like to share with me? And on this note, I would like to really acknowledge Seema Seth here. So Seema, we are proud of you. Thank you for beginning to decode the business newspaper and sharing your learnings not only with me, but with the entire community. Guys, I want to put this across for all of you. Seema is our money gymmer. She's somebody who's completed, all our programs. And when I say money gymmer, so she's completed the money gym program, and for the last 2 days, she's been decoding the business news and putting her learnings in our Money Gymmers community. This is a community of all the women who've completed the Money Gym program successfully. So Seema, this goes for you. Thank you for doing this so well, and we are damn proud of you. I love when people take actions, and you're one of them. So great job. So Kavleen and Seema are completely on it, and I would like to see more people joining in. Ridhima and her husband Rahul, I would invite you guys to jump back to the decoding of the business newspaper, and anybody else who would like to join in. Okay, so Kavleen has begun to share her learnings. The market is completely unpredictable. Yes, Kavleen, absolutely. And yet we try to predict. Yet we have that habit of predicting and checking with people कि अरे क्या होने वाला है, अरे किसी को नहीं पता क्या होने वाला है. So let's go with the flow. Nidhi is saying, okay Nidhi, I'm not taking the questions right now. I'm just looking at what are the learnings that you have. I'll be answering the question in a while. Okay, there's acknowledgement coming from Seema. This is great. So Namita is sharing, she wanted to sell one of her cars, but people were stopping her. Now with these figures, she's convinced Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And look at how much we are influenced by what people say. I think that's also a big thing, how we just allow ourselves to get influenced. Like it's okay to look at different views because everything is a point of view. Nothing wrong, bad, good about it. Everything is a point of view. At the same time, can we look at it just as a point of view and dance? Yeah, dance in the moment, dance in the future, because nobody knows the future. I think this is one of the first lessons that my mentor, Mrs. Neeru Tiwari, I want to name her, I want to acknowledge her today. She's my stock investor mentor, and she taught me right in the very beginning. And she used to say in her, there's a beautiful tone. She will say, Priyanka, nobody knows the future. And this was the first lesson, and it keeps coming live for me again and again. And today I'm sharing it. Seema is saying people are avoiding public transport like Ola, Uber due to COVID fear, hence the increase in demand. Got that. Absolutely, Seema. So Nidhi's question is it an after effect of public transport not being completely available to the public? Maybe, yes, Nidhi, this could be one of the factors which is contributing to demand. Yeah, seems like. Nobody fully knows though. How it occurs for me, Nidhi, is there's so many things happening that everything is contributing. No one thing is leading to this, is how I would decode it. Got it, guys. On that note, let's move to the next article for today. And well, one of the things to notice is WhatsApp business is being used by 1 crore 50 lakh people in our country, and it's being said to be a very, very important tool for many small businesses which are driving. Okay, some fear is being talked about. So Bindu is saying fear is okay, but it shouldn't eat up into our attitude, and moving one step at a time. Yes. Auto demand is increasing. NBFCs are giving auto loans. That's a positive effect. Absolutely, Kavleen. Petrol prices haven't decreased though. Smriti is saying, Ridhima, macro dynamics are beyond us. So we got to stay with a balanced thought. Absolutely. And I think the learning here is that, right? I mean, yesterday in the community, in our Money Gymmers community especially, there was a lot of discussion on whether I should be buying the gold bonds and what should I be doing. Will the prices reduce, increase? What will happen? Buddy, nobody knows the future. I think Nilima, Nilima, hi, good to see you. Nilima messaged me privately and said, "Kya karna chahiye?" I said, buddy, nobody knows the future. So we can't keep predicting the future and then invest. Can't be. We just need to dance in the now. That's what. Okay. Let's move to the third one now. There's a news about Punjab National Bank. Did you guys manage to read it? If not, I think we all must know this. And that is, so first, now Punjab National Bank has reported the 4th largest fraud case in its bank. So in 2018, it was hit by a massive 14,000 crore scam by Nirav Modi. And then last year, which is 2019, it had reported a 3,800 crore scam to Bhushan Power and Steel. That was the second fraud. And then third one was, again 2018, was Kingfisher Airlines. And now the fourth one has come, and it is Dewan Housing. So Dewan Housing, yeah, you guessed it right. Nidhi, DHFL, Dewan Housing Finance Limited, and 3,688 crore exposure. And this money was lent to Dewan Housing by Punjab National Bank, and the lender has said that the relationship with Dewan Houses was being reported as a fraudulent account to the Reserve Bank of India. So it has been reported as a fraud to the Reserve Bank of India, and this is the fourth fraud that Punjab National Bank is being hit by. So, well, my heart goes to Punjab National Bank, and this is it. And another news which is connected to Diwan housing is in the papers again today, and that is around the properties being attached. So, the Enforcement Directorate has attached properties worth 2,200 crore which belong to the Yes Bank co-founder Rana Kapoor and Diwan Housing Finance Corporation promoters Kapil and Dheeraj Wadhawan. And these are money laundering cases which are against them. And if you are somebody who is investing, who is wanting to invest, or is studying businesses, it's important to also study businesses which are caught in these money laundering cases. So Diwan Housing, Yes Bank could make for good study material for you, because you would begin to learn what happened, how it unveiled itself, and how things go wrong in the market and with businesses. So these could be big learning experiences, and I invite some of you to go through it. Do say yes, do say yes to study. So just write yes to study if you're going to go over the Yes Bank and Diwan Housing cases and get back with your decoding. Okay? I would love some of you to say yes to study. So while I wait for you guys, I go ahead and share. So let me actually share what all they are being seized. So Rana Kapoor's assets in Mumbai are seized, and these include an independent house, 3 duplex flats in Nepean Sea Road, an apartment in NCPA Nariman Point, and 8 flats in Indiabulls Blue. His bungalow, which is at a super prime location, 40 Amrita Shergill Marg, and this is in the heart of New Delhi, market value of 685 crores were attached as well. And for the Wadhawan brothers, 12 flats in suburban Mumbai, a flat in New York, and 2 flats in London are seized. 2 plots of land in Pune and Mulshi, 1 commercial building in Australia, 5 luxury vehicles, and 344 bank accounts were attached. So this is another news which is around the Diwan Housing and Yes Bank. Got it? How many of you are saying yes to study? It's a delight. Wow, I love that. Ruchika, Jyoti, Seema, Nidhi, Prachi, Shilpi, Divya, Namita. Great to hear that you guys will be studying it and coming back. So do make sure you share your study in your groups. Most of you are in the Women on Wealth community, so share it in your groups. And I would love to invite one of you live sometime to, for you guys to come and share what you're learning with your studying or with the decoding here. So do get in touch with me, and we could schedule that. Let us start showcasing our study. Okay, another is, well, all of us know that the stock market is in the greens again. I don't know of today, but till yesterday that was it, and it was cheering, and that was because of the pre-quarterly updates which have come in from a lot of quality companies that are part of our universe of stocks. And when I say our universe of stocks, there are some stocks which are part of our study, and we are tracking them in the community, in our Women Stock Investors community. So most of these companies are a part of our study. So guys, Godrej Consumer, Marico, Bajaj Finance, Bandhan Bank, Titan, HDFC Bank. Actually, all these 6 are a part of our study, and they're being talked about in the papers today. And the stock market has been cheering up these companies because they have reported. Example like HDFC Bank has reported a 21% growth in advances, while Bandhan Bank has announced a sequential growth of 6% in deposits. Bajaj Finance said its assets under moratorium has reduced to 15.5% as on June 30th from 27%. And guys, we did a big study in one of our, I think it was one of our decoding lives, where we discussed moratorium. I think we decoded ET Wealth that day, and we discussed moratorium in a big way. And well, for Bajaj Finance, it's assets under moratorium. So moratorium was where people have delayed paying off their loans. And they've taken the advantage that RBI is giving, where people can delay paying off their EMIs, and those assets under moratorium have reduced to 15.5 from 27%. So in June, 15% from April, which was 27%, and that's a big number, which means lesser bad debts. When I say bad debts, that means lesser losses for this finance company, and as you all know, the market cheers in the short term on every small news. So that's what has been happening. Let's look for more. If you guys want to know more about these companies, you can actually look up page number 7, where this is the big news, the first news in the markets paper, page 7. Okay. Yes. So our Prime Minister is wooing global companies, and he's citing green shoots in the economy. So he's expecting our economy to boom, and he is inviting companies, global companies, to come and set up their shops in India. So let me read a few things that he's been saying. He said that we are laying out the red carpet for all global companies to come and establish their presence in India. He was speaking at the India Global Week 2020. He said very few countries will offer the kind of opportunities that India today does. He says we are ready to do whatever it can to further bring the global good and prosperity. He's saying the government has undertaken structural reforms that will improve the economy in the longer run. So India is fighting a strong battle against the global pandemic with an increased focus on people's health. We are equally focused on the health of the economy. Well, that has truly been so, and I'm beginning to trust his leadership. I would say that my bias is beginning to show up for me because of the changes that I am seeing the economy going through from March end to now. There is a market of millions of digitally empowered, aspirational people. Imagine the kind of products you can make for them. So he's also showing the way. And I truly believe that we are digitally hungry people. We are really looking for a lot more which is available right now. And he's mentioning the reforms for the micro, small and medium enterprises and the agriculture sector, which are under the Atmanirbhar Bharat package. So a booming MSME sector will also complement big industry. So this is what he's been saying. And on the other hand, India Inc. So India Inc. are the corporates in our country, and they are seeking government aid so that they can compete globally. And there's a beautiful example of Taiwan here. So let me search that paragraph and share. No, not Taiwan, Vietnam. So Vietnam is the country with which they are quoting here. They're saying, so CII is saying, and it's an industry body which is formed by various companies, corporate, which have come together, and it's an association for them. And CII has proposed a system similar to that in Vietnam, where officials are empowered to be a single point of contact with a company for all parts of the government. It suggested setting up a central monitoring mechanism to ensure effective implementation of the proposed single window facility by all states. So I love how they're bringing in examples of countries which are really supporting businesses, and they're bringing in those examples and saying, hey, could we bring this here? One way of running a business is to just complain that, hey buddy, I'm not getting enough support from the government, or I'm not getting enough support from the association, etc., etc. Another way is to come and lead the way, show the way that, okay buddy, this is something which is missing right now, could we provide that in? And I think that's what government, businesses, communities are looking for. They're looking for people who will collaborate and not complain. And I think that's also one of the values of our community, because we are constantly working on, okay buddy, if you see something missing, provide that in instead of complaining about it. So that's something. Let's read through what some of our people are saying. Meenu, hey. Seema is saying SBI may invest up to 760 crore in private lender Yes Bank. Absolutely. The executive committee of Central Board has approved a maximum investment of up to 1760 crore in the Yes Bank FPO. Got that, Seema. Thanks for bringing that in. Ridhima is saying NBFC's incoming have increased, showing positive movements. Yes, so on a lot of positive note, let's complete this decoding. Can some of you share what you're learning today? Like, you invested your time, you pulled, you derived value. What is that value that you derived today? So before I close this decoding, please could some of you just type in and share what you're taking away today? What did you learn today? Okay, let's hear from some people. Okay, are we typing? Okay, it seems we've learned something. That's why it's taking a little time for everybody to type. So I'm looking forward to some comments coming in. Okay, Seema's learning is that market is showing an uptrend for the automobile industry. Got that, Seema? Beautiful. Tanmaya, she's saying I'm building consistency. Got that, Tanmaya? Thank you for showing up. Informs me that you're committed. Yes, to be consciously aware. Kavleen is saying keep on investing according to your plan. Markets are unpredictable. Absolutely, Kavleen. Don't wait for that right time to arrive, because we might not know that this is exactly the right time right now. Jyoti is saying I didn't know the Bandhan Bank was in our stocks community world. It didn't even pass the profitability test. Got that, Jyoti. Various parameters we're looking at. So that's fine. That's fine, and it's okay to slowly learn and figure things. We don't want to eat everything in one day, right? We only want to take in as much as we can digest. So I think that's what I am really focusing on with all our women investors communities here. Ridhima is saying her biggest experience from this entire decoding newspaper process is that it keeps her informed about the economy movements, and she didn't need to sit back home cribbing and crying. Not at all, Ridhima. No cribbing, no crying. We are a community and we are together in this. So No cribbing, no crying. Just stay together and keep learning from each other, because that's how we're going to grow, and we are together for life. At least till the time I'm alive, I promise to be with each one of you. Bina, she's missing reading the physical papers. Bina, I'm loving it. I think I cannot go with the online versions. Well, that's my constraint, I would say. Ridhma's another learning is future is unpredictable, so just stay balanced, keep investing. Absolutely, Ridhma. Thanks for sharing all of that. And on that note, let's close the decoding. Kavleen and Seema are jumping in and they are providing the notes in the community. Seema and Kavleen, you could also consider pasting your notes below each decoding so that all of us can read together, or in our private communities you can post as well, which I'm completely loving what you guys are doing. I invite others to jump in too. Just share, even in a few lines, what you are learning. I think that's what matters. We're all, with each Facebook Live, we are just driving action in, because like I said last time, working on our money life is not a week. It is an everyday activity that we need to get in, because then our money life will rock. So on that note, let's complete the decoding today, and I look forward to seeing you again, guys, on Tuesday, and before that, anytime we get an opportunity. So take charge, stay safe, and keep making that difference to your money life. Loads of love.